1 year from today, America will be going to the polls to choose a president. And there are alarm bells going off inside the White House this morning. There are 3 big polls out about the race for the White House, and none of it is good for Joe Biden. Race for president is decided state by state, not nationally. So this morning, we want to focus on a series of battleground state polls from the New York Times. In Nevada, Trump leads by 10, leads by 6 in Georgia, 5 in Arizona, 5 in Michigan, and 4 in Pennsylvania. Biden has just a narrow 2-point lead in Wisconsin. Now, Biden won all 6 of those states in 2020 and likely needs to win at least 4 of them to be reelected. And if you dig a little deeper into the poll, things look even bleaker. Voters in these 6 states say Biden's policies have hurt them personally. And those numbers are flipped when you ask about Trump. More say Trump's policies have helped them personally. And then there are huge cracks in the coalition that won Biden the White House in 2020. Yes, he's leading among those demographics, but not by nearly as much as he needs to be. He's ahead of Trump among young voters in these battleground states by 1 point. Trump wins 22% of black voters, which would be a historically huge measure for a Republican. And the margins are small for Biden among Hispanics and suburban voters.
Only 28% of Americans says that the president inspires confidence.
I don't think he's going to pull his shoe.
That was my phone.
Happy Monday. It's November 6, 2023. The New York Times and CBS News team up to destroy Joe Biden. Trump leads in 5 of 6 major swing states. The left stages an insurrection at the White House, a Hamas-surrection. Will anyone be arrested? And we have a massive week planned for you. It's your boy, Benny. This is The Benny Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so concerned about where we are getting our news today. It is so important for you and for I to understand that news is bias and that there is an embedded bias in what people choose to report. And that is why I am partnering with Ground News. Ground News opens up that little labyrinth and shows you where your news is coming from, the bias distribution here. For this story, for instance, this is our first story of the day. Trump has edge over Biden in 5 battleground states. Poll indicates the bias distribution of this story. Ground News shows you where the story is being reported, how many outlets, some of our best friends over here, are reporting this story, how the left is utterly ignoring this story, and then it can point you to where the stories are being published and where those publications lean so that you are able to fully understand where your news is coming from and how your news is being filtered, right? So here's the Fox News story of it. No good news here for Dems. Trump leads Biden in key swing state. That would be of the right? And then you're able to search similar topics, Donald Trump, and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a big fan of Ground News. Ground News helps us stay grounded in our news digest. And ladies and gentlemen, it can help you also sort through this complicated news cycle. It's never been more complicated, and there's never been more people trying to lie to you. So please go to ground.news/Benny and get 30% off unlimited access or get their pro plan for as little as $1 a month. I really love this company. That's ground.news/Benny or use the link in the description. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So the first story is the New York Times absolutely disembowels Joe Biden. Yes, I cannot believe it. Now, we are crushing this week, okay? The reason why the show looks a little different today, why I don't even have my microphone, is Rolls-Royce is already in D.C. We're going to be doing a ton of work in Washington, D.C. for the next 2 days. We're going to be going live from Byron Donalds' office tomorrow with a number of members of Congress. They're going to tell us inside of Congress what's actually happening. Our promise to you is that we will deliver for you and to you what's really going on in the world. So that is why, one, the show is going to look a little different today and why the show is going to be a little bit shorter today because, we're heading up to D.C. as soon as the show is over. But I don't even need an airplane to fly to DC because I am like alighted upon wings of eagles reading the news from the weekend. Baby, this is insane. Voters in battleground states say that they trusted Donald Trump over President Biden on the economy, foreign policy, immigration. Mr. Biden's multiracial base shows signs of fraying. We're going to get into that in just a second. Blacks, Hispanics, Asians, whites, everyone hates Joe Biden. Joe Biden has actually brought the entire country together in hatred of him. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's like exactly, because this is Barack Obama's third term, this is exactly what happened with Barack Obama. It's the same thing. The entire country was united in hatred of Barack Obama by the end. He's continuing his third term. Remember, Democrats lost over 1,200 elected offices in the Obama tenure. 1,200 federal or state offices around the country. Barack Obama decimated the Democrat Party. Check out these polls. Trump is ahead in 5 of 6 swing states. Trump is ahead in Nevada. Trump is ahead in Michigan. Trump is ahead in Georgia. Trump is ahead in Pennsylvania. Trump is ahead in Arizona. And in Wisconsin, Joe Biden's ahead because they haven't readjusted their brainstem. Their brains haven't thawed from the winter, and because they haven't gotten rid of all of their drop boxes. In fact, there was a ruling that said that those drop boxes were illegal in Wisconsin, and now they're trying to impeach the election official that oversaw that election, which is such a wonderful thing to see. It dovetails perfectly into, of course, what we've seen across the country, which is everyone saying, Democrats are saying, hold up, wait a minute. Voting by mail and unaccountable drop boxes ain't right. These things are bad, and these things are actually robbing Democrats of elections. Right as you saw in New Jersey and as you saw in Connecticut, Democrats are having elections stolen from them with unaccountable drop boxes and with vote by mail fraud, according to the judge. According to the judge in Connecticut, and we've covered this, but we'll continue to cover it. The judge said, there's no way that I can figure out the legitimate winner of this election because you have messed with the voting ballots so badly. Well, now you're starting to see the tides turn. Across 6 battleground states, all of which Mr. Biden carried in 2020, the president trails by an average of 48 to 44%. Discontent pulsates through the Times Siena poll, with a majority of voters saying that Joe Biden's policies have personally hurt them. Oh, baby. The survey also revealed the extent to which the multiracial and multi-generational coalition that elected Mr. Biden is fraying. Demographic groups backed Mr. Biden in landslide margins in 2020 are now far more closely contested. 2/3 of the electorate sees the country moving in the wrong direction. Voters under 30 favor Mr. Biden by only a single percentage point, and his lead among Hispanic voters is down to single digits. Baby, that means we are doing our job at this channel. If the vote for under 30s is a single percentage point in favor of Biden, that should be like a cavern. That should be a Grand Canyon style cavern. It should be 40 points, right? Typically. But this is like a one single point. That means we're doing our job, baby. Ugh! Makes me so happy. His advantage in rural areas is half of Mr. Trump's edge in rural regions. And while women still favor Biden, men prefer Mr. Trump by twice as large of a margin, reversing the gender advantage that had fueled so many Democratic gains in recent years. Black voters, long a bulwark for Democrats for Biden. Remember, Democrats must have 90+% of the black vote in order to win any election, are now registering 22% support in these states for Mr. Trump, levels unseen. Oh my God. Add it all together, Mr. Trump leads by 10 points in Nevada, 6 in Georgia, 5 in Arizona, and 5 in Michigan, 4 in Pennsylvania, and Mr. Biden has a 2-point edge in Wisconsin. Oh, man. Again, Wisconsin doing the brain thaw. Brain freeze in Wisconsin. They'll go. They'll get back in the wagon. Come on, baby. I know you. I know Wisconsin. I know you. I know you can do it. Baby, the panic has officially set in. Check this out from CNN, the absolute and total smell of panic, salt, and napalm in the morning.
Well, let's talk about these voters in that same New York Times story. They voted for Biden in 2020. This is about the voters in that poll story. They say the world is falling apart under Biden. That's from a voter named Spencer Weiss, who's from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. He said, I would much rather see somebody that I feel I can be a positive role model leader for the country, but at least I think Trump has his wits about him. And then another person, Travis Waterman from Phoenix, says, I don't think he's the right guy to go toe-to-toe with these world leaders that don't respect him or fear him. He voted for Biden in 2020, but they see him as weak and now prefers Mr. Trump. That same poll says that 71% of voters believe that Biden, who's 80, is too old. even though he's only 4 years older than Donald Trump, just 39% of voters believe that Trump is too old to be an effective president.
The guy goes, there's nothing that's happened that's good under Biden. Nothing. Nothing good has happened under Biden. Nada. Nothing. Joe Biden has ruined everything in my life, is what the poll says. It gets worse, though. Because when you go into the crosstabs on this poll, it gets so much worse.
Just the numbers on the issues. That's what ultimately determines elections. Economy, of course, always a central issue. Economy, 59% believe that Trump would do a better job than Biden. 22-point favorite on the issue of the economy. And then he leads down the line. Only abortion, Biden has a 9-point lead. And also another concern here is that voters under 30 trust Trump better on the economy by 28 points. That is a demographic that the Biden campaign needs to come out in droves to help him win. And this is how, the Biden campaign recognizes fully that the economy is going to be central. They point to the positive numbers and positive signs in the economy. This is how they've messaged it.
Okay, so these guys are saying, check this out, check out this quote. The world is falling apart under Biden. 53-year-old electrical substation specialist, so like a working class guy, probably a union guy. Okay, the classic Democrat voter, Pennsylvania union guy. The world is falling apart under Biden, is what he says. But it's not just the working class union guys; it's all people. Mr. Biden has still a year to turn around the situation around. Economic indicators are up, even if voters do not agree with them. Mr. Trump remains polarizing. Yeah, really? Polarizing? Tell me, does this look polarizing to you? This is Donald Trump after being arrested in Atlanta, Georgia. Here's how the all-black neighborhoods of poor Atlanta treated Donald Trump.
Y'all see it, man. Which one are you in, though? Donald Trump. I'm talking about they got everybody. Look at that fucked up.
And that, of course, dovetails very nicely into the pure, salty panic of CNN saying, minorities hate Joe Biden. Black people hate Joe Biden. We've seen the clips of black people coming out of their homes to cheer on Donald Trump as he rides through the street after getting a mugshot taken. Black people hate Joe.
The New York Times, and they're right about it, says, in a remarkable sign of a gradual racial realignment between the two parties, the more diverse the swing state, the farther Mr. Biden was behind. And he led only in the whitest of 6.
Give me more. Give me another scoop of that. Joe Biden's only leading in white states. Oh boy, what does that mean? That means that the single, degenerate, sad, Xanax, Chardonnay, barren cat ladies are the ones that are supporting Joe. That's your entire coalition. Those are the only people, the most worthless people in society. That's your coalition. The sad, miserable, middle-aged white ladies who have no families and have no one that loves them, so must have the government be her husband. But must have the government be her favorite love, the love of her life, the person to take care of her. They really, honestly, it's starting to get really desperate for Democrats. We've seen this play out, but the panic has not hit quite the same way as it did this weekend.
Is all of this and even more polling. I want to show this, guys, because it's pretty stunning to look at. This is from a New York Times Siena College poll, which shows that Trump leads Biden in 5 out of 6 critical swing states. And of course, you have this week where Mr. Trump's going to be counter-programming the debate. Sarah, he's going to be holding a rally here. And guess what? On Monday, he's going to be in court. His fraud trial, I spoke to one of his allies today who says they plan to capitalize on those optics. They are feeling defiant.
Defiant. The Trump team is feeling. Oh, baby. I mean, it's just getting so delicious out here. They're feeling defiant and Democrats are feeling scared. Premier Jayapal is one of the elder socialists of Congress. She was on with Chucky this weekend saying for the first time in years, for the first time since 2020, I am actually terrified that Donald Trump is going to become president again. This is actually a clear panic alarm. They are now ringing the bells, saying Joe Biden has to drop out. Watch this gob-smacking clip. And you'll see Peppermint Patty going,
But I will tell you, this is the first time, Jen, that I have felt like the 2024 election is in great trouble for the president and for our Democratic control, which is essential to moving forward.
Oh, it's essential. It's essential that we have control of everything. It really is. It's so essential. Look at these breakdowns. Black voters are now registering 22% support in states for Mr. Trump. You know that means you're never gonna win. I mean, that you can't, it is impossible to win with these numbers. Impossible for a Democrat to win with these numbers. Okay, this is Nina Turner sounding the alarm here. Big time Democrat activists. The swing state polling average shows a landslide for Donald Trump right now. Not by a little bit, by like a lot. 300 electoral votes. And that's losing Wisconsin. That's losing Virginia. That's losing Colorado. I mean, you're not even having to like swing really hard. This is unbelievably wild. 300 electoral votes for Donald Trump. Look at this. Boop. Here's the Real Clear Politics average. Really important. This average is really important because it is all of the polls together. Real Clear Politics is not partisan. And so they sort of like, they blend all the polls. And you can see here, Donald Trump up by a point. Never in 2020, not once will Donald Trump up by a point. Wild. Look at the trajectory here. Boom. And Biden's been up, a lot of the poll. Look at back here. Look back here. Biden was up by 2-3 points. And earlier, December, right around the 2022, 2023 New Year, Biden up by a monster amount on Trump, and now Trump has completely closed that gap and overtaken him. This plus 10 in Nevada, I mean, again, what do we say here? You're polling outside of the margin of fraud, is what it is. Who says things are going badly in America? 73%. Look at the trend line here. 73% of Americans. Boom. Just an absolute hockey stick there. Things are going bad in America. And this is, by the way, a YouGov CBS News poll. You can't get more liberal than this poll. Look at that. Holy cannoli. But it wasn't just the New York Times and CNN. Let's head on over here to CBS News. If Trump wins, more voters foresee better finances, staying out of war. According to CBS. Will you be financially better off? If Trump wins, 45, baby. There's the number. 32. Financially worse off, Biden, stay about the same. So everyone is saying, yeah, Joe Biden is going to destroy us. Again, the U.S. wars overseas, their policies the chances of a war overseas would increase with Biden and decrease with Trump, according to the CBS News YouGov poll. Peace and stability around the world. Trump wins 47%. Look at the reporting on this. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Today marks exactly 1 year from the 2024 presidential election and what could end up being a rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Our new CBS News poll shows Biden continues to trail Donald Trump in that possible head-to-head. He is now down 3 points.
Okay, so this is really starting to heat up now with CBS News and the New York Times dropping these on the same weekend. What does that tell you? Well, these people coordinate, all right? And their data is often wrong or manipulated. So what this tells me is that they are pushing Joe Biden out the door. They don't want to report these kind of things. They don't want to do entire segments on Joe Biden. They don't want to do this segment. The last thing on earth that any lib wants to do in corporate media is this.
The number of Americans who think that things are going badly in the country today has hit its high for the year. So you might expect any incumbent to be down as Biden is. But then look at these positive views of what people think will happen for them financially if Donald Trump wins. Way more voters think they'd be better off. And Biden, for his part, hasn't fully convinced as many Democrats that he'd help them as the middle class still reels from inflation.
They say it every single election, and it's true. It's the economy, stupid. It's your wallet. People vote their wallet. People vote their pocketbook. People vote based on the economic malaise or feeling of the moment. And by 2-1, people are saying they'll be financially better off and the world will be at peace.
Let's look overseas. There's more voters, we find, who think that it's Trump that would keep the U.S. out of a war if he wins. And that's driven by a lot of Republican unity on that idea. Let's look at Israel in particular. Americans sympathize with the Israeli people. Most Democrats think that Biden would show the right amount of support, but Democrats are more divided over military aid to Israel specifically.
Okay, so let's do a quick roundup here. We have CNN, the New York Times gutting Joe Biden like a fish. Now we have Axios here. If the election were held today, President Donald Trump would easily beat Joe Biden with over 300 electoral votes, according to a new swing state poll from New York Times and Siena College. Holy smokes, man. Easily beat Joe Biden is what Axios says. Let's check over here on ABC News. How's ABC reporting this?
George, voters are just plain frustrated across the board. 76% of adults in this poll say the country is headed in the wrong direction. Only 23%, less than a quarter of the country, say that we're headed on the right track. And the issues that are animating voters' frustration, it's almost unspeakably vast and broad. Economy, 74% of Americans say it's very important to them personally. 69% say the same about inflation. Those are issues in our poll that tend to favor Republicans. Voters say they trust Republicans more than Democrats on those issues.
Oh, baby. The panic is truly, truly setting in, but no worse off than inside of this coalition of the dispossessed, right? So Obama is somebody who tried as hard as he could to create a brand new coalition of people that were the dispossessed, the people who have believe that there are oppressors and that they are the oppressed. That's the easiest way to say it. Now we're going to get to the insurrection that was staged in Washington, D.C. In fact, we have someone at the White House right now doing reporting on this issue. But there was an insurrection in D.C. This is like, you're starting to see like the fusion of the old BLM energy with the Palestinian liberation energy, right? This is the coalition of the dispossessed. People who have been lied to and told that they are oppressed in America and that the oppressors are, I don't know, big corporations, the NFL, something. The oppressors are Donald Trump because got it. Donald Trump's oppressing him. Donald Trump's totally in charge of everything. Got it. Donald Trump's the one oppressing you. So that coalition must have enormous amounts of minority support to work because you must be able to weave the BLM narrative that there's an entire systemic system of racism against you. But that now coalition has broken and shattered to the winds into 1,000 pieces. This is just wild. This polling from 538. Are Black and Hispanic Americans abandoning Joe Biden? We look at the numbers and we're seeing now that Hispanic Americans are split. A lot of Hispanic Americans are like, hey, give me Trump. Give me Trump back. And Black American support of Joe Biden is absolutely cratering, according to these polls. And Axios is over here saying that Biden's growing race problems, bleeding support among Hispanic voters and Black voters, you must, especially younger ones, and especially in swing states. This is an alarming re-election threatening full-blown crisis inside of the White House, according to Axios. Check this out. Wild. It emerged quietly in the 2020 election when Biden won, but lost ground among Hispanic and Black voters. Donald Trump actually gained ground in the 2020 election and is now ready to storm the castle with this new group of people that go out of their houses in the Black neighborhoods of Atlanta and cheer on Donald Trump. Trump Latinos. It's clear from consistent trends across multiple polls that Biden is bleeding support among Hispanic voters and Black voters, especially young ones, especially in swing states. Biden is losing support after his rival Donald Trump was indicted. What did we tell you? What did we tell you? In one fascinating way, Biden is morphing into Trump when it comes to his base. It's old white voters who seem most solid in their support. Biden has retained the entirety of his support among older whites. Oh, man. Oh, what did we tell you? The Xanax crew. The miserable, sad, decrepit Xanax crew. Biden's support among non-whites dropped 33 points. The more diverse the state, the worse Biden does. Trump's support among black voters popped to 22 points, which is times called unseen in a presidential politics in Republican modern times. Biden led among Hispanics in single digits. Baby, we are out here, and they're panicking. They're panicking. Further on here in the article, you can see what's happening. Hispanic ranchers, Mexican-American oil workers, and non-college educated Latinos are shifting measurably from Democrats with potentially devastating electoral repercussions, reports Axios' Russell Contreras, who studied the Latino vote back to JFK's victory in 1960. Oh, okay, so people that work for a living? Like, how about you stop racializing everything? How about you just go like the productive part of society? What they're saying, Hispanic ranchers, oil workers, non-college educated Latinos who work at body shops, they back Donald Trump because their lives were measurably better under Donald Trump's policies. How is this hard? How about you stop? It really gets under my skin. The amount of like racial breakout that happens. I mean, how you have no choice but to start to demean voters, right? To like order them to vote a certain way. And you see that actually. There's this amazing clip from Jasmine Crockett. You'll remember Jasmine Crockett, who rapped during Donald Trump, during the Joe Biden impeachment inquiry. The boom clap, like hallelujah chorus, absurdist, profane display of Jasmine Crockett that like melts your brain and causes you to weep for the future of America because this person became a member of Congress. Anyway, she was on TV, of course, saying that the problem with blacks and Latino voters, oh, and this is delicious, is they're stupid. They're too dumb to understand what's happening, right? And so you got to just shut up and vote for Democrats. This is an unbelievable clip. Watch.
Here's the deal. Perception is reality. And so when you look at the data that was provided in this poll, it talks about how people feel. And when people decide whether they're going to the poll or whether they're not going to the poll, it's all about how you feel in that moment. And so while the facts may not align with their feelings are dictating their reality. Their reality is that they said that they feel better or they felt better when Trump was in office. But we've been trying to push back. We've got some very popular African-American artists that are out here saying things like, oh, I got checks when Trump was in office. I want those checks again, not understanding that really came from Congress. So we've got a couple of things, the perception issue, and then we also have an issue as it relates to civics in this country and people not understanding exactly how any of this works.
You'll recall that this person who's lecturing us on civics engaged in this display during the impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden. Here's your civics lessons, kids. This is how you're supposed to act in American politics. Watch.
But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me. This looks like more evidence of our national secrets, say on a stage at Mar-a-Lago. When we're talking about somebody that's committed high crimes, it's at least indictments. Let's say 32 counts related to unauthorized retention of national security secrets, 7 counts related to obstructing the investigation, 3 false statements, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, falsifying business records, conspiracy to defraud the United States, 2 counts related to efforts to obstruct the vote certification proceedings, 1 count of conspiracy to violate civil rights, 23 counts related to forgery or false document statements, 8 counts related to soliciting. And I could go on because he's got 91 counts pending right now. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally. And that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States. And I will yield.
So, okay, listen, I've never seen the full-on panic this bad. Like, ultimately, as embarrassing, as humiliating as Democrats are, like, doesn't matter which outlet you were looking at this weekend, it was pure fire alarm, Jamal Bowman level, pull it down, panic. They were screaming. Everyone's screaming right now that Joe Biden don't got it. And what is that eventually going to lead to? It's going to lead to clips like this from ABC News, them saying, it's George Stephanopoulos, Clinton guy, okay? This is the Clinton guy going after the Obama third term, saying, it's time to swap them out. Time to be done. Remember, the Clintons hate the Obamas, okay? They hate each other. They hate each other. Obama stole what Hillary Clinton saw was rightfully hers. Would we have been a better nation if Hillary Clinton was president in 2008 instead of Barack Obama? I don't know. Who can know? The past is prologue. Obviously, we're a much better nation that Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton in 2016. But remember, Barack Obama was the one who ended what was supposed to be the christening of the Hillary era. It was truly Barack Obama who ended Hillary, right? And caused the collapse of her brand and all of the wickedness that comes with it, right? Now she's relegated to low-level assassin, Jeffrey Epstein cell, Dark Knight, turn the lights off, turn the cameras off in the jail cell. That's a dirty business, okay? Hillary doesn't want that. She would much rather be in the Oval Office. Now she has to go wander around the federal correctional facilities, right, with 6 feet of rope late in the night, paying off the security guards. It's dirty business. She doesn't want to have to do that. I digress. Hillary Clinton's spokesperson on ABC, amazing how this works out, right? Biden and Obama, they get all their spokespeople. ABC, they line up all their spokespeople. George Stephanopoulos is saying, nope, it's time for Biden to drop out and clear the way for who? Hillary, probably something like that. I kid you not. It's going to be one of them. It's going to Kamala, Hillary, Michelle Obama.
This is probably going to lead to a lot of Democrats increasing the chatter that Joe Biden should step aside and make room for another Democrat.
And I think the problem that Democrats have is they don't know who that Democrat would be right now. I don't think that people look at Kamala Harris and feel like she is ready to take that step forward. They look across the rest of the party, governors, senators, mayors, House members, and they're struggling to figure out who they could put up if it's not Joe Biden. And so I think the reality is Democrats are probably going to run Joe Biden.
Who could they put up? Oh man. Oh, it's too delicious. Oh, there's one other thing you gotta see on this. Here we go. Hold on. Let's just send in. Democrat strategist David Axelrod suggesting Biden drop out of 2024 race. Now this is Barack Obama's guy. So now you have inside of the circle. This is Barack Obama's chief of staff, the architect behind Obama world, saying that Biden's got to go. So you have Clinton world saying Biden's got to go, Obama world saying Biden's got to go. Yo, what's Trump world saying? Dan Scavino is Donald Trump's communication wizard. He is the guy who was, who manages Donald Trump's social media. And he's been posting things like this, opening up your phone and seeing this in 2024. What is it? Donald Trump. Yeah, baby. $1.29 gas. They've been lighting it up. Scavino posting. The energy is back, baby. The energy is back, baby. Boom. Trump 2024. Make America great again. They're out there. And this one's great. Donald Trump gassing up a Lamborghini for $1.29 a gallon. Bring it back, baby. Bring it back. They're dancing. They're dancing in the street. So Trump world is just celebrating these polls. The official response from Trump world is memes, of course. Meme energy. There is other dark energies out here. Like, for instance, there are activists, Hamas activists, that scaled the White House fence this weekend. How are these people not arrested? How are these people not tackled by Secret Service? I mean, you're hoisting a hostile nation's foreign flag above the White House fence. You are desecrating the White House. The enemy is already here, says Bongino. Look at that. They smeared red paint all over the gates of the White House. These people are monstrous. They're monstrous. Where they desecrated monuments, like they rioted, they attacked cops, they attacked Secret Service. They look at the White House gates. They're shaking the White House gates. How is this not an insurrection by definition? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be it's tough. Like, people don't want to see this. They don't want to see this. By the way, they were chanting F Joe Biden, so I guess I agree with that. But Joe Biden wasn't even at the White House. Who are they chanting at? Joe Biden was at the beach, baby. You got to get over to Rehoboth to see Joe sitting on the beach with his fat belly noodle arms. Ladies and gentlemen, also bad news for Joe Biden. James Comer saying that the subpoenas, 24 of them, will be sent out in the near future. This week, we hear. So buckle up. Check this out.
I think you're going to see swift action on Biden's, and I would predict somewhere around 24 subpoenas in the very near future.
24 subpoenas. Subpoenas are imminent, and you said each of these LLCs had dozens of accounts attached to the LLC?
Some LLCs had a single account. Some LLCs had multiple accounts. But it's been very difficult not only to obtain all of the bank statements, but to put the pieces together. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. This was a very organized criminal scheme.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be one heck of a week. We are going to be traveling for a lot of it, the Republican debate, Trump rallies, and so on. It's going to be amazing. I encourage you to stay connected with us by using Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is the phone company that we use because we don't like woke companies, and we want to be able to speak freely. They support free speech. They are the only Christian conservative wireless provider. When I say only, you got to believe me, only. They run on all 3 major networks, and they support your values. Make the switch today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT for free activation today with the offer code Benny, BENNY, patriotmobile.com/Benny, and get all of the good news with us. We are headed directly up to Washington, D.C. right now, and we're very excited to bring you an entire wild week of programming. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, and we are very excited for it. We've got a packed schedule booked out. But we would never leave you without the verse of the day. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. The verse of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Do not ever succumb to the blackness, the doom, the gloom, the evil that has been perpetrated on our nation. Do not let them win. We will not let them win. Do not let them steal your esprit de corps or the pep in your step. We are victorious. We stand upright and we march forward. We are the Benny Brigade. We are members of the Salty Army. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stay salty, salt and light. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Don't be hidden right now. Now is the time. Now is the time. We march forward. We have the energy on our side. We have the momentum. And ladies and gentlemen, we have each other. And we have a great hope in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Go into your week uplifted. We're going to get off to the airport right now. Washington, D.C., then to Miami, Republican debate, Trump rally, monster weekend. We'll be live for all of it. See ya.